Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to episode 67 of season 2. On today's episode, we're going to be giving a Barcelona preview for the game for tomorrow's game against Getafe. We're going to be playing at home. It's going to be another tough game, but it's going to be at home. Let me introduce my co-host Alex.
Hey guys, how's it going?
All right, guys. Remember, as always, I post a link on Twitter if you guys want to join into the discussion. You're always welcome to. You just go on Twitter at Kool-Aid Podcast 10, and then you can just click on the link and you can join. But Alex, tomorrow we have a big game in the Camp Nou. It's going to be a big weekend in La Liga just because Barcelona is going to be playing at home against Getafe. It's going to be a tough game, but we're at home. But the main thing that I'm looking out for is that Real Madrid are going away from home to the San Mamés Atletico Bilbao, Athletic Club's stadium. And that's always a tough place to go. And so this could be a chance that we can increase that gap.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, Athletic Group, they're not always at their best, but when they play home, that's a completely different story. Such a difficult stadium to win in, with such a good fan base that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's no easy feat for any team. Um, so that's something that could go in our favor, given that Madrid are playing there. But most importantly, we're playing Getafe this weekend. I don't think it's the worst thing that can happen. Getafe aren't doing too good this season. I know I think I said it last episode. They're toward the mid-table area. So again, they're not a crazy difficult team to beat, and we are home. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, we need this game. These are the games
Yeah.
that matter most, more than the Clásicos, more than the derby games. Um, it's games like these that should be 3-point games. And again,
Yeah.
we can never underestimate the other team because anything is possible. And even if it's a team that's not doing their best, such as Getafe, and don't have the greatest quality, they can still shock us. And
Yeah, exactly.
because it's a very important match. Games like these that give us the opportunity to expand the lead, they're the most important matches.
yeah, exactly. And I remember in previous season, those dropping points against Getafe, it being they're like a very defensive team. They make it like
Yeah,
hard for you to play, and so we have to go out there with basically like full intensity, go for the win. And the thing is that we don't want to be overconfident. We don't want to be overconfident. I don't want to see the team going into like a relaxation period. If, for example, we go 1-0 up, I don't want the team to thinking like, hey, the game is over. We beat Real Madrid in the Supercopa.
at least 2 goals.
Exactly. We need to go with it. And they're just thinking, hey, we need to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Um, but this is how the La Liga table is looking like. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. This is how the La Liga table is looking right now. Barcelona in first with 41 points. You see some teams have played 18 matches. We're going to be playing our 17th tomorrow. This is because the teams who are still in 16 participate in the Supercopa, for example. You have Valencia, you have Barcelona, you have Real Madrid, and Real Betis just played. Um, so that's why some teams have played 16 games, other teams have played 17, and I think I believe they won 3-0 today, and this is why they have 18.
Yeah,
But you see, it's only 3 points away from from us and Real Madrid, and tomorrow we can widen that gap to 6. It's going to be a real possibility.
yeah, and even if Madrid wins and we don't widen the gap, still it's another victory. It's more points.
Exactly.
It's much better than losing the game or tying it. It's much better than dropping points, obviously. Um, but of course, it's gonna be an interesting match tomorrow. It's very important, like we said. But I wanted to ask you real quick, what would be your ideal starting 11 for this match?
My ideal starting 11. Well, I've actually created. Let me just post it right here. Let me share my screen. Apologies. And share. Okay, so this would be my starting lineup. It would be Ter Stegen in goal. My defense, I think we should go. We should feel a very strong 11. Basically, the strongest 11 we possibly can, with Jos Kunde as our right back, Araujo as the right center back, Christensen as the left center back, Balde as the starting left back. I wouldn't start Jordi Alba. I believe that Balde is our first choice left back. And in the
Mhm.
midfield, I don't think that Xavi should go with the four-man midfield. I think the four-man midfield is especially in the games where we're trying to control it, where we can be attacked a lot. It's basically in the big games, in the big games against Real Madrid, against Bayern, against like those kinds of teams. I would like to see that four-man midfield. But with this one, playing at home against Getafe, three-man midfield with Frankie De Jong being that pivot and Gavi and Pedri to either side. And then with the absence of Lewandowski, Ansu Fati. And Ansu Fati, I'm pretty sure Xavi said that he's starting this game. So Ansu Fati is confirmed to be starting. The only doubt is maybe, hey, is Ousmane Dembele going to be playing on the left or on the right? And if Rafinha doesn't play, is Ferran Torres going to substitute Ousmane Dembele on the left? But this is my starting 11 right here. As you can see, I'm going as strong as we possibly can in order to get the 3 points.
Yeah, I completely agree. I wouldn't change anything there. I think, like you said, we can be if we have the players, why not go with our best options, right? And we just gotta win this game. Helps our confidence, helps our morale. Um, and yeah, I think the defense we don't have a better option. That's the best defense we have, and I think it's solid. Um, I also think that midfield, maybe you could consider putting Busquets, but I'd rather do what you did and just give the young the minutes for Pedri, Gavi, obviously on the midfield. And up top, I think, again, we're working with our best options. And Sufati has had a pretty decent form as of late.
Yeah, his form has been improving so far.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think this is the team where he can, go out and get goals and get more of his confidence back. I think the wingers are the best options we have right now. I think Rafinha, I know he's very one sided on the field, loves to play down the right, and it's fine because he's a lefty. He gets the crosses in, and the Dembele he can play either way. I don't really care. Like I don't really think it matters. I think that's the right way to go, honestly.
mhm.
Um, One thing that we do gotta look out for is, well, I mean, I don't think it'd be that big of an issue, but especially if Getafe counterattacks mainly down the left side, we know Dembele is probably not going to be defending. So it'd be interesting to see how the team adapts. I know Balder's a pretty good defender. He's nothing crazy, of course, but he's solid at what he does. So
Yeah, and on top of that, the great positive by playing Balde in that left back position is that he has that pace where
mhm,
he if he makes a mistake, he can recover from it.
exactly, I know, and he's a threat offensively too. So
Exactly.
it's not like people can say the argument, well, you don't have your Diablos crossing, right? Balder's crossing may not be that of Alba's, although Alba's isn't that consistent either. But
Yeah,
um,
but his penetrating runs, you saw that in the game against
exactly,
Real
and
Madrid.
it's so deadly because
Hmm.
you're giving the right back and essentially the winger as well the responsibility of having to track back and defend because it's essentially an overload, right? It's two players with the overlap. You're giving Balde the option to cross or to try to run into the box and get chances in the box, or he can just play it back to the winger. You're giving more space, so you're forcing the midfielders to defend more. You're essentially putting more pressure when you have on the defense when you have fullbacks like that. Now, the
Hmm.
only downside to that is the possibility of a counterattack. But like we said, very fast player, and I think Barca sets up well for the counterattack, and their midfield does a good job at holding it down. We see this a lot with players like Busquets
Hmm.
who sit at the edge of the box,
Hmm.
make the foul when needed, and I think it's good. We have players here in this team that are very defensive. Araujo is one of them, a
Yeah,
monster at the back,
yeah,
and Conde not as
vital
offensive
player.
but does the same job essentially.
Hmm. Yeah, vital player. And one of the things that you mentioned was Busquets in that pivot role. Now, Busquets is in Barcelona for what is believed to be his final season. This is going to be Busquets' last season, and we need to start preparing for the exit Busquets because we've had Busquets being at Barcelona for so many years, and so I would like to see Frankie de Jong be the starter in that position. For example, in the big games, yeah, add that extra midfielder. But every other game, I want to see Frankie de Jong play in that position. And we've talked in detail uh, about Frankie de Jong in this position because some of the things I mentioned was that sometimes he's too dynamic. That maybe he goes up a little bit too much. He makes those runs and he leaves the back exposed. compared to Busquets because Busquets has that amazing IQ. But I believe as Frankie de Jong gets that run of games in this position, he's able to basically make that position his own.
Right,
Um,
and I was just looking up for possible players to replace him. Um,
and the player
yeah,
who's rumored to replace Busquets that we're being heavily linked with
Danny
is
Parejo, no?
no, not so much Dani Parejo. It's Zubamendi from Real Sociedad.
Mm,
Now the draw for the Copa del Rey, I believe it was yesterday, and we've been drawn with Real Sociedad. Now Real Sociedad are very good run of form. They're currently
yeah,
third in La Liga,
they're
tied.
they're a good team. They're a good team
Yeah, exactly, tied on points with Real Madrid, but Real Madrid have two games.
right? Of course,
Um,
in hand.
have two games in hand, and so Real Sociedad are in a great run of form, and the game against Real Sociedad in the Copa del Rey is going to be at the Camp Nou. So that's going to be a very good test for us. I believe it's going to be on Wednesday. Let me see. Let me check, guys. Yes, it's going to be Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, hey, that's going to be like a really tough test.
For
Um,
sure. And I'd like to add one thing, of course. Going back to the young pivot role and all of the possibilities we have to
let's hear
replace
it.
Busquets. I do think the young is maybe not the ideal because he doesn't really fill Busquets' shoes. It's a different he
Yeah,
does it different, right? He's
mhm.
not gonna play the same role. He's not gonna be the same player. Of course, very
No,
different styles.
Busquets
But
is a once in a lifetime player. Sorry
right,
to
right.
cut you
It's
off.
so rare to find a player like that. But I will say this: I think he's the best option out there because we already own him. First of all, it's not like we have to go buy a player. And second of all, when you look at young CDMs, you can think of players like Amrabat, maybe players like Conte, but I think when you look at the balance of defense and offense that the young provides, I think there's not much better options. And he's such a good player at doing both. He can get the ball back, play from the back. And what I like about him most is his runs. When he makes
Mhm.
those runs in the midfield, he's so strong at that and frees up so much space for the other players. But again, it'd be interesting to see who Barca will look for. And again, going back to the Villarreal thing, it's going to be
Oh,
such
that's
a
just that.
difficult game. I mean, I'm sorry, Real Sociedad.
Yeah,
Going back to the Real Sociedad thing, I was thinking about
yeah,
Parejo.
yeah, yeah. Valeo.
Um, with Real Sociedad, it's going to be a difficult game. They're a team that's fighting there. They know they're likely not going to win the league, but still, it's a team that's also hungry for trophies, and they're going to give us a hard game, no doubt. No doubt, it's going to be a hard game against them in the Copa del Rey, and um, of course, you gotta go there with the mindset of winning. But again, it's a strong team to play. But overall, I think for tomorrow, I feel like we'll get a comfortable 3-0 win
3-0
tomorrow.
win. Okay, so we're going on to match predictions now. So you're predicting a 3-0 win,
Mm,
3 goals. I'm actually going to predict a 2 goal. Yes, a 2-0 win. A 2-0 win because
2-0.
Getafe, the games against Getafe, they've been 1-0, 0-0 in the past, 1-1 in the past couple of games. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 Barcelona victory. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think Getafe is going to make it very grindy. It's going to be very tough, but Barcelona is a favorite, and I have them winning in that game.
For sure.
Yeah. But guys, that was it for today's episode. As always, I post a link on Twitter. If any of you guys want to join into the discussion, you're always welcome to. If you want to give your thoughts and everything, I post a link to it on Twitter. Aqua Podcast 10. So you're always welcome to join. And as always, guys, like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll be back tomorrow with the post-match reaction. Let's hope we get another 3 points and Real Madrid drop points.
For
But
sure.
guys, we'll catch you guys all on the next episode.
Thank you guys. Peace.